Monday, Wednesday, Friday is sparring and work with a partner. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday is physical conditioning and special conditioning, technical conditioning work on bags and mitts.
Bivol's coach has just lifted the curtain on the brutal training regime behind Dmitry Bivol's dominance in the ring. With intense preparation aimed at breaking Beterbiev's undefeated streak, he dropped a bombshell, declaring that their upcoming fight will be nothing short of a brutal battle. The rematch between Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev has become one of the most anticipated battles in boxing, especially after the contrasting views of experts regarding the first fight and its aftermath. Gareth A. Davies, a respected boxing analyst, reflected on the initial contest, acknowledging his prediction was off as he initially saw Beterbiev winning 7-5. Despite that, Davies now believes Bivol will be smarter in this rematch, leading him to pick Bivol to win on points this time. He expressed that it goes against the grain, but he sees Bivol improving his approach.
I'm picking Bivol on points this time. It goes against the grain. I picked Bivol the first time. I had Beterbiev winning 7-5. I just think Bivol will be smarter this time around.
On the other hand, Spencer Oliver, another expert, feels that Beterbiev will have a much wider victory in this fight. He attributes it to Beterbiev's recovery from knee surgery in the last fight, which may have hindered his preparation. He sees Beterbiev's boxing IQ and educated pressure as key factors for this rematch, predicting a more dominant performance. Oliver's insight points to Beterbiev's adaptability and resilience, making him confident in the fighter's ability to win decisively.
No, I think that Beterbiev wins wider this time. I think that what Beterbiev was carrying...
I want a trilogy, that's why.
Yeah, no, you do. He was carrying an injury, coming off an injury, going into that last contest. Some preparation may have not been as good as what it could have been previously. I go for Beterbiev. I think that what you see behind the monster, behind that wrecking machine, that wrecking ball that comes forward, there's a boxing IQ there. He's smart in what he does. There's educated pressure.
Bunches.
Interestingly, Gareth A. Davies later mentioned that while he's picking Bivol for the win, his main reason is a desire for a trilogy fight. He hinted that if Beterbiev were to win, it wouldn't be surprising given the difficulty of the decision, but he remains hopeful that the fight will end in Bivol's favor to set up a third encounter.
Listen, I wouldn't be surprised if Beterbiev wins as well. It's such a difficult pick. I'm only picking Bivol because I want the third fight.
The idea of a trilogy fight became a significant talking point after an announcement made by the head of Riyadh's season, Turki Al-Sheikh. During his Reddit conversation, a fan asked about the future rivalry between Bivol and Beterbiev, to which Al-Sheikh simply responded saying, yes, there'd be. This announcement raised the stakes for the February 22nd fight, as fans now had a clearer picture of the potential future matchups in this high-stakes rivalry. Meanwhile, David Benavidez, another top fighter in the division, has also weighed in on the rematch and the potential trilogy. Benavidez expressed his confidence in facing the winner of the Beterbiev-Bivol fight, but noted that if Bivol were to win, he would wait for the trilogy to play out before moving on to his own challenges.
To be honest, the only thing that I'm thinking about is that if Bivol wins this fight, like what they would have to do a rubber match, you know what I mean? And like I'm just like thinking, who am I to say that, you know, they can't fight another fight because, you know, they fought two great fights. So that's basically the only thing I'm thinking of right now. But I would, if that's something like that would happen, I think I wouldn't fight until they get that done with, and then, you know, I would move into that fight after they have a trilogy.
Benavidez also mentioned that he's closely watching the February 22nd fight, as it could potentially shape his own next steps in the division. He's keeping a keen eye on the developments and understands the significance of this rematch, hinting that the outcome will have a direct impact on his future fights.
But I think we're gonna go over there February 22nd, so we'll probably figure everything out. You know, if you know, Bivol wins again, or if he wins. So, but yeah, that is probably too much of a long time. So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
Looking back at their first fight, Beterbiev and Bivol's clash ended in a controversial majority decision, with Beterbiev becoming the undisputed light heavyweight champion. And some experts argued that Bivol had done enough to win, while others believe Beterbiev's pressure and power secured the victory. Shakur Stevenson believes Bivol will treat this as a revenge fight, learning from his past mistakes. In his view, Bivol started strong in their first bout, but faded in the later rounds, costing him the victory. Stevenson thinks Bivol will now be more aggressive and focused on maintaining his intensity throughout all 12 rounds. With adjustments, he believes Bivol has the skills to turn the tables on Beterbiev.
I think Bivol, all he had to do was just finish a little bit stronger. He did really good in the fight, but the last 2 to 3 rounds, he kind of let his foot off the gas, and I think he know that.
Shane McGuigan also sees this fight as a potential redemption moment for Bivol. He notes that Bivol fought in bursts during their first encounter, often stepping back and taking unnecessary breaks. While Bivol may have felt in control, McGuigan believes that he gave away too many moments in a fight where every second counts. This time, he expects Bivol to stay engaged, pressing forward and minimizing any lapses. He suggests that the fresher fighter could have the edge, hinting that Bivol may have the advantage.
I think it'll be revenge. I think Bivol can look at that fight and think where he could have, he fought in spells. I scored it to a better Biev. Just felt he was more consistent. Feel like if Bivol had pressed it a little bit more, because he was pressing it in bursts, but then he was going off. He was taking long breathers, and it wasn't like he was tired. He probably thought he was in control and winning. Whereas you have to win when you're in a when you're in an undisputed fight. You have to win as many seconds of every round as possible. And I think he'll look at that and think, I can beat this guy, and I think once again it might favor the fresher man.
Carl Frampton, however, stands by the result of the first fight, saying he believes the right man won. While he acknowledges the controversy surrounding the decision, he personally scored it in Beterbiev's favor. Despite that, he now leans toward Bivol in the rematch, believing the Russian fighter will make the necessary adjustments.
I picked Beterbiev for the first fight. I know there's a wee bit of controversy. Well, there wasn't really. I thought the right man won the fight. I thought Beterbiev won the fight, but it was very, very close. But in the rematch, I think Bivol wins the rematch.
Darren Barker also believes Bivol won the first fight and expects him to win the rematch as well. However, he acknowledges that Beterbiev finished strong, and if he starts faster this time, it could make a difference. Barker also points out that age might be catching up to Beterbiev as he recently turned 40. The wear and tear of years of training and fighting could make it harder for him to maintain his usual intensity. Despite that, Barker expects another close fight, but slightly favors Bivol to come out on top.
Beterbiev finished the fight strong. So I think he can be busier. He can start a lot quicker. Having said that, again, he's just turned 40. He's no spring chicken, and this starts to take its toll on you. The training camps, the fights, the pressure, the build-ups, it all really does. The shots that you've taken in sparring and on fight night, your resistance starts to fade ever so slightly, and it becomes very, very difficult. That's going to happen to Beterbiev. We're starting to see it already, is the decline started to happen. It's a great fight, but a fight where I believe it's going to be another really, really close one, but I favour Bivol.
Fraser Clark sees the rematch as a true 50-50 fight, emphasizing how evenly matched both fighters are. He recalls that Bivol wasn't dominating the early rounds in their first fight, yet some were shocked by Beterbiev's win.
I think it was an unbelievable fight, but you know what? I think Bivol, he wasn't like the first 4 rounds. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe Beterbiev won the fight. After the first 4 rounds, obviously it's a 12-round fight, but
Clark credits Bivol's intelligence and resilience, believing he has the tools to reverse the result. At the same time, he respects Beterbiev's ability to adapt and apply relentless pressure. In his opinion, if these two fought 10 times, they might each win 5, making the rematch unpredictable.
Beterbiev, whatever, I don't know how to pronounce it nowadays. Beterbiev, yeah. So I had him picked for the first fight, and I think he did fantastic. Once he grew into the fight, he's a really difficult force. But tactically and with a lot of stubbornness and physicality, I think it's a 50-50. But if they box 10 times, I think it could be a 5-5 sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Roy Jones Jr. believes Beterbiev's aggressive style could be both an advantage and a potential downfall. He explains that while Beterbiev's forward pressure gives him control, it also leaves him vulnerable to Bivol's counters. If Beterbiev becomes too reckless, Bivol might exploit those openings and land significant shots.
It's going to be another great fight, another epic fight. I'm thinking Arthur going to be more Arthur this time, which it could be good for him or it could be bad for him, because when you go for the kill on Bivol, it gives Bivol a chance to hit those counters.
On the other hand, if Beterbiev plays it too safe, he risks allowing Bivol to control the fight from a distance. Jones suggests that both fighters have learned valuable lessons from their first meeting, making their tactical adjustments crucial in the rematch.
But when you don't go for the kill on him, you give him a chance to edge to fight out like I thought he did the first time, or be a draw. But, we'll see what happens. I think Arthur learned a lot from it. I'm sure people all learned a lot from it too. So we'll see what happens.
Bob Arum, Beterbiev's promoter, remains confident in his fighter, but expects another tough contest. He describes the first fight as highly competitive, reinforcing the idea that this rematch won't be one-sided. While he backs Beterbiev to win, he acknowledges both the fighters' skills and talent. Arum warns against underestimating either fighter, as the close nature of their first encounter shows how evenly matched they are. He expects another war in the ring, with no guaranteed outcome.
Well, again, these two guys are very, very good, competent light heavyweights. I like my guy's chances. My guy is Beterbiev, but it can go either way. It was a very close fight, as you said, the first time they fought. I don't think it will be a walkover this time. I think it'll be a close fight.
Veteran cutman Russ Anber analyzed Bivol's chances of improving his performance and praised his exceptional boxing skills. He questioned whether Bivol could elevate his game much further, since his first performance was already nearly flawless.
Difficult to say. I'm not sure how much more he can improve on his performance. I think he boxed an excellent fight. I'm not sure what alternatives he can come up with.
On the other hand, he believed Beterbiev was not at his best in their last fight due to recovering from knee surgery. Anber suggested that a fully recovered Beterbiev would be more aggressive and dangerous in the rematch. If Beterbiev can fight at his usual relentless pace, he could deliver a much stronger performance this time.
But I do believe that Beterbiev can improve on his last performance. I don't think we saw Beterbiev at his best. I think he had surgery on the knee. He wasn't coming back, wasn't as forceful as he usually is. He seemed to be a lot more conservative. I personally gave him the edge at the end of the fight. I thought he closed out the last 3 rounds quite solid. I thought he showed that he was able to hurt.
Johnny Nelson sees the rematch as a revenge fight, expecting Bivol to win on points. He believes Bivol has room to grow and improve from the first fight, while Beterbiev is unlikely to change his style. According to Nelson, Bivol's key to victory is controlling the pace and making adjustments throughout the fight. If he can dictate the tempo and avoid prolonged exchanges, he stands a great chance of securing a decisive win. Nelson predicts a different outcome this time, with Bivol emerging victorious.
I think it's revenge. I think Bivol beats Beterbiev on points. I think Bivol has room to grow from the last fight, whereas Beterbiev doesn't. I think we see Beterbiev showed you he's got pace. The pace he worked at is the pace that he stays at. He ain't going to change. He's not going to change anything else, or can't change anything else about that style. So Bivol's got to make sure he takes the pace. He brings it up and down.
Experts' predictions aside, Artur Beterbiev himself has weighed in on his rematch, offering insight into his mental and strategic approach. When asked about his mental edge over Dmitry Bivol, Beterbiev acknowledged that while there are many mental aspects in play, the key is to stay focused and adapt enough to secure the win. He also stated that Bivol did not surprise him in their previous encounter, suggesting that the first fight went according to his expectations, and that it's now about making the necessary adjustments to win again.
Different things, like mentally, you need to be focused.
Are you going to change an awful lot, or is it just small changes in this fight that you need to do?
We need change enough for a win,
With a little bit more pressure, that you can force a stoppage.
We'll see, I don't know, I can't say that.
Artur, for you, what did Dmitry do in the first fight that surprised you?
He did not surprise me, but he did good job.
On the other hand, Dmitry Bivol is determined to make the right adjustments this time. Reflecting on his previous performance, Bivol emphasized the need for a more focused and harder working approach. He revealed that while he has learned from their first fight, he's still working on refining his technique and overall performance. His goal is to be better in every aspect, from moving more fluidly to throwing harder punches, and while he can't fully explain the exact changes, it's clear that he is mentally preparing for a more dynamic approach in the rematch.
Change something, I will be more focused. I will work more hard to do much more better. I don't want to talk too much what I learned, but I learned something, of course. I just need to be better in all points. Move better, throwing more punches, harder punches, everything better. It just, I don't know how to explain it. Just, I need to get it and then I will explain. I don't have it, but of course it's sitting in my head.
With the fight just days away, Bivol has been showing a level of focus and dedication that suggests he's prepared to take his game to the next level. He recently uploaded training footage on social media that's been described as beyond excellent, showcasing his commitment to making improvements. Coach Gennady Gushianov has also revealed the intense training regime Dmitry Bivol is undergoing in preparation for the rematch. According to Gushianov, Bivol's training schedule is meticulously divided throughout the week. By shedding his weekly training schedule, he indicated how serious Bivol is about making the necessary adjustments for this fight. By outlining the intensity of the training, Gushianov indirectly signals that this upcoming fight will be nothing short of brutal.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday is sparring and work with a partner. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday is physical conditioning and special conditioning, technical conditioning work on bags and mitts.
Reflecting on the role of boxing in his life, Bivol has a deep appreciation for the discipline it has instilled in him. Since starting boxing at 6 years old, he has learned valuable life lessons beyond just the sport. His training philosophy emphasizes discipline, responsibility, and consistency.
Boxing, it's the biggest teacher in my life. I'm in boxing since 6 years, and I learned a lot from hard working, from competitions, from everything. How to live, I'm thankful to boxing.
Bivol credits boxing for teaching him the importance of preparation and how vital it is to own both victories and losses. For Bivol, the journey in the gym shapes his mentality, and he believes that his success or failure ultimately comes down to how well he trains.
Because boxing taught me how to eat right. Boxing taught me about discipline. Boxing taught me about you are responsible for what you are doing. If you are not training well, you are responsible for your loss. If you are working well, you are responsible for your win.
According to Bivol's manager, Vadim Kornelov, the boxer is fully aware of what needs to be done to fix the small gaps that caused him to fall short in their first encounter. Kornelov expresses confidence that Bivol is actively addressing those gaps in his preparation for this fight, ensuring that there will be no unanswered questions when they step into the ring again.
I really believe that he understands what needs to be done, what the little extra part that was missing. He's trying to add that on in this camp and make sure that this time there's no questions.
Bivol himself has emphasized his drive for revenge, acknowledging that losing doesn't sit well with any athlete. He is determined to correct his previous mistakes, seeking the opportunity to rectify what went wrong in the last fight against Beterbiev. For Bivol, the rematch isn't just about winning, it's about learning from past errors and delivering a better performance.
As an athlete, all athletes doesn't like to lose, and they wanna revenge. Always when they lose, they wanna find what was wrong, what I did wrong. I need to fix it. I wanna have another chance, and this is also me. I'm like this also. It's not only for the belts. I wanna change. Yeah, what happened?
Artur Beterbiev's recent training has also caught the attention of the boxing world. A video surfaced where Beterbiev is seen relentlessly pushing himself to the limit, hinting at the force and aggression he's preparing to bring to the ring. Known for his powerful punches and aggressive fighting style, Beterbiev's training clearly demonstrates his commitment to improving his performance and eliminating any doubts in the upcoming fight. The intensity of Beterbiev's preparation even impressed Joe Rogan, who witnessed Beterbiev's remarkable strength. Rogan highlighted a session where Beterbiev spent an entire hour hitting a tire with a sledgehammer, showing his physical dominance and incredible work ethic. He praised Beterbiev's savage mentality and noted that the only fight in Beterbiev's career that went the distance was against Bivol. Rogan described his knockout record as insane, further emphasizing how dangerous Beterbiev can be in the ring.
Did you see Artur Beterbiev, who is fighting Dimitri Bivol?
Yes.
He did a hammer workout on a tire where he hit a tire for an hour.
He did? For an hour?
An hour.
What?
He hit a tire for an hour with a sledgehammer.
Those Dagestanis are made of different...
He's Chechnyan.
Is he Chechnyan?
But same
mountain people.
Hamzat Chimaev, savage people.
Yeah.
And he's one of the scariest boxers of all time. The only fight that he had as a professional that went the distance is Bivol.
I know.
The only fight.
And did you see when Bivol would have
He was
his hands
19-0
up?
with 19 knockouts.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Mark Ramsey, Beterbiev's trainer, reflected on their previous fight with Bivol, recognizing the importance of mixing punches to the head and body. He acknowledged the lessons learned from their past failures and mentioned that their focus now is on recovery and maintaining good momentum. Ramsey's comments suggest that the team has gained valuable insights and is ready to adapt and improve for the upcoming challenge.
It's always important. Like if you look in the past, that was always a part of Artur Beterbiev, like mixing not only body, but body is very important too. Like it's a big part of boxing. Going to the body, going to the head, try to mix those punch, of course. Like you say, a couple of last year, we was doing a fighter here for many different reasons that we had, but we feel not only for the fight, but also in the training, like we have a momentum.
As for Bivol, boxing promoter Eddie Hearn believes that for him to succeed in the rematch, he needs to secure a more convincing victory, especially in the later rounds. He pointed out that while Bivol had an early lead in their first fight, he lost key rounds towards the end, which ultimately cost him the win. Hearn emphasized the need for Bivol to close the fight stronger with better footwork and focus, as Beterbiev will likely come out more aggressive in the early rounds.
I mean, he has to get the rubber to green from the judges, but clearly he has to win rounds more convincingly. I mean, I had him winning those rounds, and after 9 rounds, I thought he was miles up. But he probably did lose 10, 11, 12. And, you know, with that in mind, he needs to close out the fight better. I think Beterbiev will be more aggressive early in this fight. He'll try and wear him down and get to him earlier this time. So Dimitri's got to be razor sharp, great feet as always, and I believe he wins the fight on points.
Both fighters are fully immersed in their preparations for the rematch, making it clear that this will be an even more exciting contest than the last. With intense training routines and unwavering focus, Artur Beterbiev and Dimitri Bivol are leaving no stone unturned. The stakes are higher, and it's evident that both are bringing their best to the ring, ensuring that this fight will be filled with drama and intensity. What do you think will be the result of the rematch? Revenge or repeat? Looking at the training of both fighters, what's your prediction? Write your comment below.